World War I is one of the most brutal and catastrophic conflicts in human history, lasting from 1914 to 1918, fundamentally altering the political, social, and economic structure of the world. This was not just a war between nations, but a global conflict that affected every continent and led to profound changes in its aftermath. To understand this war better, we will analyze the causes leading to the war, the major battles, its consequences, and its long-term impact on the world. At the end of the 19th century and the early 20th century, European imperial powers, particularly Britain, France, Germany, and Austro-Hungary, began competing fiercely for colonies, resources, and global influence. The British and French empires dominated vast colonial territories across Asia, Africa, and the seas, while Germany began to strengthen its military and extend its influence in Asia and Africa. Although Germany had only joined the imperial race in the late 19th century, its participation heightened tensions between the imperial powers. This created not only a struggle for resources and power, but also an arms race, making the nations unstable and vulnerable to war. Another key factor leading to World War I was the rise of nationalism in Europe, particularly in areas with strong ethnic divisions like the Balkans. Many smaller nations in this region, especially Serbs, Croats, and Slavs, sought independence from the Austro-Hungarian and Ottoman empires. Russia's support for Slavic independence movements increased tensions in the region. Moreover, struggles for control between these smaller nations directly involved the larger powers such as Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Russia, creating a complex web of alliances that made even a small event capable of triggering war. One of the major factors that led to the outbreak of the war was the complex system of military alliances between the major European powers. By the end of the 19th century and the early 20th century, European countries had split into two main alliance blocs: the Triple Entente, consisting of Britain, France, and Russia, and the Central Powers, including Germany, Austria-Hungary, and later the Ottoman Empire in Bulgaria. When Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia after the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand on June 28, 1914, the countries in their alliances were quickly drawn into the conflict. These alliances not only brought countries into the war, but also created a domino effect, spreading the war across all of Europe. The war largely unfolded on two main fronts, the Western Front and the Eastern Front. The Western Front saw brutal battles between German forces and British, French, and Belgian troops. Famous battles like the Battle of Verdun, in 1916, and the Battle of the Somme, 1916, became symbols of the brutal and bloody nature of the conflict. The Battle of Verdun, which lasted for 10 months, resulted in nearly 700,000 casualties on both the French and German sides, while the Somme campaign, lasting only 5 months, saw over 1 million men killed or wounded. The fighting on the Western Front was mainly characterized by trench warfare, where both sides fought from elaborate networks of trenches, enduring harsh conditions and numerous dangers. On the Eastern Front, the fighting took place between Russian forces and the German and Austro-Hungarian armies. Despite having a larger army, Russia struggled with poor organization and lacked the military resources that Germany had. By 1917, after the October Revolution, Russia was forced to withdraw from the war, signing the Brest-Litovsk Treaty with Germany. This major shift in the war altered the balance of power and influenced Germany's attacks on other fronts. Another notable campaign was the Gallipoli campaign, 1915, where British, French, and other Allied forces attempted to open a new front against the Ottoman Empire in Turkey. However, this campaign was a catastrophic failure, with hundreds of thousands of soldiers killed and the campaign abandoned, leading to a temporary halt of fighting in the Southeast European region. One of the greatest consequences of World War I was the dissolution of three major empires: the Austro-Hungarian Empire, the Ottoman Empire, and the Russian Empire. The Austro-Hungarian Empire was fragmented into several smaller countries, including Austria, Hungary, Czechoslovakia, and Yugoslavia. The Ottoman Empire also weakened and ultimately collapsed, giving rise to new nations such as Turkey. Meanwhile, the Russian Empire gave way to the Soviet Union, marking the beginning of a new era in global politics. The Treaty of Versailles, 1919, signed after the war, redrew the political map of Europe. New nations like Austria, Czechoslovakia, and Yugoslavia emerged, while Germany and Hungary saw their territories and influence significantly reduced. The treaty imposed harsh terms on Germany, demanding reparations and reducing its military, which led to severe economic and political instability in the country. This deep resentment paved the way for the rise of Nazi Germany and ultimately World War II. A long-term effect of World War I was its direct contribution to the outbreak of World War II. The harsh terms of the Treaty of Versailles and the global economic depression created widespread discontent and political instability, especially in Germany. The rise of fascism under Adolf Hitler took advantage of this discontent, leading to the start of World War II. Additionally, the formation of the Soviet Union and the division of the world into two opposing blocs, the Western democracies and the Soviet Union, set the stage for the Cold War, a period of tension and rivalry that lasted for several decades. World War I was not only a military conflict, but also a transformative event that reshaped the political and social landscape of the world. This war laid the groundwork for many subsequent conflicts in the 20th century. The lessons learned from World War I continue to resonate in today's international politics, reminding us of the dangers of extreme nationalism, imperial competition, and unchecked military alliances.